I think we're gonna do All Star game, like All Star balloting, like finals. We can kind of hot take whether or not the Dodgers deserve to blue out. Um, let's see. We can talk about NBA as far as like moves happening, most impactful move for you guys. Um, and then we'll just kind of talk MLB trade deadline. Like, do we have any obvious buyers, sellers, anything interesting on the wire? And then we'll do matchups and gratitude and rants. Okay. I like how I did the rundown while we were live. Hopefully this doesn't.
Yeah, not right before.
Hopefully no one's tuning in right now because that's awkward. Let's cue the music. Happy Taco Tuesday, everybody. It's Everyone Hates Us, the podcast dedicated to the art of winning and the beautiful sport of baseball. I'm your host, Euno Lee. These are my co-hosts, Dan Grievitz, Colin Murphy. I nailed the intro, guys.
It's rare.
I nailed the intro. It was a total slam dunk this time. Speaking of total slam dunks,
territory.
I'm sorry. Oh, uncharted tour. Hi, I'm Dan, and I'm gonna mess up Euno's segue. We're gonna talk about the MLB All Star game. We got a great. We're gonna talk some MLB All Star game. We're gonna talk an interesting John Boy video that came out recently covering a certain not Zach Hampel, but something more. I guess you could say it's more impactful on the game. He's more impactful on the game than Zach Campbell. He's definitely less impactful to little kids, though. And then we're going to go over some NBA moves that have been going on. There's been some moving and shaking going on in the NBA. It turns out the KD move was just the precursor. That was just the appetizer. We had the NBA draft, and then now we have a lot of moving going on. And we're going to go over... Yeah, so All-Star game, NBA, and this D-Vax fan, whose name I still do not know. So Murphy, if you want to dox him.
Not really into that, to be honest.
We're talking about the ballpark a little bit and where we draw the line. Other than that, thanks for joining us. Quick life update. So it is Taco Tuesday, and you know what? It's become such a recurring theme in my house. I don't think I've made the same taco in like 6 weeks. So I've been cooking tacos for the family. We've done Tijuana style. We've done the original just carne asada with the corn tortilla. We've done shrimp tacos. We've done chicken tacos where like we just pull the chicken. Like I put out a roast chicken and you just kind of break it down yourself and make your own tacos. I've done fajitas, like a Tex-Mex taco. And today I am making tacos Arabes. Have you guys ever tried tacos Arabes?
I think maybe in Mexico City, but yeah, I think so actually.
I would need it to find.
So Dan, do you care to explain to Murph what a tacos Arabes is?
I'm trying to remember what it was. I don't know.
I can do a quick rundown.
Describe it. Yeah.
Okay, so there's a trompo involved. It's on a spinning spit, vertical. And it's kind of similar to al pastor, but the spices are a little different. And what's really interesting is Mexico actually has a fairly sizable population from the Middle East. And so there is a little bit of like, hey, I'm trying to make what I used to eat at home. But you guys don't really have like cardamom and some of the other stuff that I'm looking for. So we're going to mess with the spices a little bit. And then they did make like a taco that's actually more similar to like a shawarma or a kebab, where they put it on a pita or a very like a thicker flour tortilla. So what they'll do is they'll make kind of like these flatbreads, and the taco actually goes, the taco meat that you shave off the trompo goes on the flour, whether it's a pita or tortilla. And It's a super interesting taco. I always thought it was super fascinating that like there were, folks from the Middle East and in Mexico, apparently in Puebla, where they mixed this up with like a chipotle sauce, apparently like a chipotle salsa, and it's pretty damn good. You guys should. I think there's only one place in LA that sells them. Like it's legit like a truck or something. And so yeah, that's if you get a chance, give it a try.
Well, from what I understand, that's sort of where Al Pastor comes from as well. Like the whole trompo concept is sort of imported from the Middle East. So,
which is now an
Yeah, it's
iconic
great.
feature of Mexican food. It's like a
Absolutely.
very like if it's not there, are you even getting real tacos? Like if they don't have a trompo, like does that make sense to anybody?
It is important for sure.
The big old taco game out in Chicago. Dan's dying out of Chicago for real Mexican food.
I keep hearing about the great Mexican food here. I've yet to actually see it.
Who has the least credibility when they talk about Mexican food? Because I have to say, like, which state or city has the least credibility when they say, "Oh, we have great Mexican food"? Because I feel like, okay, Texas is like Tex-Mex.
I would go
Right.
North Dakota.
Okay, North Dakota, sure. But no, like these cities kind of brag about their Mexican food. Like New York brags about their Mexican food, which is insane to me. It's
That
like,
is silly.
what Mexican food do you have? Like a Chipotle? Is that what you're talking about? Like, this is insane. Dan, does Texas have a right to say they have good Mexican food?
No, well, not really. They have the right to say they have good Tex-Mex food, which is a different thing.
Well, they invented that, so hopefully it's
exactly
the best
yeah.
version of what they invented.
Well,
Yeah,
I would argue, does Texas even claim that they have the best Mexican food? I feel like they always claim that it's their own like version style, like right? Like I don't know.
I mean, I've definitely had when I was living in Texas, people say that they had great Mexican food, but they meant Tex-Mex. They just say it Mexican food. Which is
I don't
wrong.
think that's what you think it means. Like, I don't think this is.
I
We're
think
not
a lot
talking
of
about the same
them
thing.
would argue that like a lot of the families and stuff that like kind of started the whole food in like Texas or whatever never moved lines. Like the U.S. and Mexico just switched the borders. So to them, it's six in one hand, half a dozen in the other. Like the difference between Tex-Mex and Mexican, they would probably just argue it's a regional variant from like a similar people.
Colin with the culinary colonialism point of the day. I'm gonna drop a hot take because it's something that we hear a lot. But people in San Diego say they have great Mexican food, and I'm very as an LA resident, born and bred here, born and raised, practically never left. Went to school here, had every job here.
Orange County.
Orange County, which actually incidentally has some of the best tacos if you go down to Santa Ana. San Diego, not that good. Not that good. And a lot of what they call Mexican food is actually like stoner food. It's like, hey, let's take a bunch of fries, put a bunch of cheese and carne asada on top, and let's call that Mexican food. And meanwhile, like the various regions of Mexico and states and all of that are probably just looking at that being like, what the hell is going on here? I mean, I'm sure it tastes great, but this is not like, so I'm a little dubious.
Don't they also claim they like invented like the fried fish taco? Like, isn't that like a San Diego thing? Or like they have one of the best? Like, I feel like that's like a big point of pride for them. I could be totally off base on this, but that's
That they
kinda my
battered
memory.
fish and put it in the taco.
Yeah, exactly.
What do they want? Like a fucking medal? Like,
Oh, there's one.
but there's like so many better fish-based tacos if you just go south of San Diego.
Yeah,
they've got like,
I'm thinking like of like LA chains, like Rubio's, like their little fish taco thing. I think that's
Good
kind of what
God.
San Diego like claims they like invented and perfected.
oh my Lord. That's like being proud that you started IHOP. Like, what? It's good in a pinch, I don't know, man. Murph, I don't know.
I mean, I will say the Mexican food in San Diego, to go back to what we were talking about. A lot of the ones that I've tried that is good is burritos. Like they do have I find them hit or miss, but when they hit, they're pretty good. But all burritos really aren't a traditional Mexican food either. Like that, it's also a food that was sort of created here, or at least perfected here. And yeah. So again, they have the Mexican food, but it's burritos, which is also a different thing.
Yeah, aren't like mission style burritos like that is like a distinctly well.
That's like from San Francisco.
But
Yeah.
it's California like style, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
but isn't that like kind of what a lot of people think of when they think of burritos, though? Like,
Yeah.
it is. I
Exactly,
don't
yeah.
think it's super Mexican.
That's what I'm thinking. And so there's a lot of like interesting kind of culinary mishmashing going on between here in Mexico and Texas and Mexico.
My beef with LA Mexican food is all the coffee and chocolate that they put in their mole. Stop. Just please stop. It's not what I want in my mole, like at all.
Murph, you might be one of like 7 white people in the state to think that. You know, like it is.
I don't
honestly,
drink coffee, so I do not like the flavor at all. So yes, no, I really
well, coffee
don't
I
want
get, but the chocolate, it's like it's such a, you know, it's like caught on here, and you just can't get rid of it. Like folks, that's what people associate with mole is like the kind of chocolatey flavor, and so, and it's, I mean, it's not bad. I don't mind it. I think
I
it's,
don't love it either.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
it's fine, but it can be a bit overbearing. Like it sort
Yeah.
of dominates. Yeah.
like when I was in Vegas, wherever, like they like a really nice like nutty mole, like that's what I want out of it. Like I don't want, or even when I did when after you had left for Ping's bachelor party, there was
Mhm.
like a pistachio based like mole that they made down there.
that
and
sounds
was,
really good, actually.
that was
Yeah.
really great. Yeah. That's what I more want. I want the nuttiness. I don't want coffee. I don't want chocolate. It should be nutty, like through and through.
We went
So-
from culinary colonialism to Oaxacan purist Colin Murphy. Like,
I believe enchilada is actually at its core there. Oh, yeah, I guess a Oaxacan for mole. I was
Yeah.
gonna say enchiladas are Mayan, but yeah, I guess it, like if you're talking about mole specifically, like yeah, that's
I might know a thing or two about food, Colin. Just throwing that out there.
I was already set to correct you on the enchilada part, and I forgot that we were talking about mole. Actually, I totally forgot that's where we had drifted on the combo.
We need to drop kick Murphy out of this conversation. We're gonna get into All-Star game. I swear. Let's start with San Diego. So, guys, the finalists, the Phase 2 voting update was announced today, and we're not in a great place if you're a Dodger fan and you're rooting for a blue out. Okay, so let me go over this real quick because it's pretty dirty. All right. So let's pull this up. Not a huge fan of how things have been going down, but let's all right. So for first base, we've got, and this is the NL update, Phase 2 update. First base, we got Freddie Freeman. Second base, we got Ketel Marte, which okay, I'm not.
Fair.
Yeah, we're not touching that. Shortstop, Francisco Lindor. Okay.
Yeah, that's a clear one too. That's a clear one.
And then third baseman, Manny Machado.
Definitely one of the top 2 third basemen in that division.
Yeah. He might be the third best third baseman in the division. Like between like behind Muncy and Suarez. What are you doing here? Your defense isn't even that good this year. All right, I promise we'll get through this before we start, dissecting it. At catcher, it's Will Smith. Second place is Carson Kelly. I thought I should know for the record, it's Carson Kelly in second place. He's been having a hell of a year. And then the outfielders, we've got first place, Ronald Acuna Jr. Second place, PCA. Third place, Kyle Tucker. And then fourth place, Teoscar Hernandez. Fifth place, Juan Soto. Sixth place, Andy Pajes. He's the third best center fielder, or he's the third best outfielder in this group right now, if we're going by Baseball Reference War. What the hell? So I know it's a popularity contest. And I know that because Teoscar Hernandez is ahead of Andy Pajes, which makes no sense to me. I love Teo, but what are you doing
this
here?
year he should not.
How do you have Soto? Like Soto's a big name. The Mets always surprise me with how underwhelmed they pack the ballot for like how big that fan base is.
The Mets definitely turn off baseball after the offseason's over. And then they'll like wake me up if we're in the playoffs. Like wake me up after the dog days. Because I feel like so many Mets seasons have gone awry. Like they started out with hope and then it just falls apart. They like lull Mets it. But then there's some seasons where it's like, hey, we didn't expect anything, but oh my gosh, look at us. We're in the NLCS against the Dodgers. We're like 2 games away from winning the whole thing.
Yeah, it definitely builds.
Yeah. It's a ramp up.
They've been hurt too many times.
I want to know which filthy casuals thought Francisco Lindor was the best shortstop in the NL. That's nonsense. It's my boy CJ Abrams. I'm going all in on CJ Abrams.
Well, I mean, Mookie doesn't
he's
deserve
an
it, man.
integral
He's,
part of one of my fantasy teams. I love that guy.
Mookie's
Great
got a
value this year.
99 weighted runs created. Like, come on, he's below league average. With the
He's
bat.
an elite. He's the best defensive third baseman or second shortstop probably in. He's the third best in MLB.
That just doesn't offset the bat. Doesn't
it though? Because he has like 2.7 wins despite batting league average.
I mean, if Fangraph he's at 1.8, and like he's behind Lindor and like Turner. Turner's the leader actually, but Lindor.
Oh, that's right. Turner's the other. Forgot the other elite shortstop that we just left out, who's I think top 10 in the league in wins.
I don't know. Like even defensively, like like why not someone like Mason Wynn? Like he's also like had a slightly better year at the bat, like great defender as well. Like Mookie just should not be in the All-Star game. This is his worst offensive season of his career.
So far.
So far. To me, the middle infield I think is pretty set in the sense that like while I wouldn't have put Lindor otherwise, like if it's Lindor versus Mookie, I think Lindor is pretty clear. The corners, I think, it's a clusterfuck. I think third base is just absolutely wild. I mean, I'm just looking at it right now. Like Machado 2.5 WAR, Matt Chapman 2.4, Euno Suarez 2.3, Max Muncy 2.2. No one else is even close to him. The NOS top 4 third baseman, and then there's a giant chasm. And the Rockies are relegated in this scenario, so we're just going to ignore them.
Oh, that's another one who got kind of left off was Matt Chapman.
He's been hurt for a bit. Like,
I thought that's who you meant for the third Manny Machado being third.
I'm sorry, I totally forgot. Yeah, no, Manny Machado is actually 4th best in the division. He's closer to being a Rockies third baseman than he is an All-Star starter. This is insane. Yeah, you're right, Colin. This is the strongest third base division in baseball. Like, holy mackerel. There's plenty of good choices here.
Yeah. And like first base, I really do think Alonso Freeman, like that's a coin flip as well. So I don't know. I don't think Dodger fans have a lot to really gripe about here because I feel like you lose one of the coin flips and you won the other one. I mean, Pages, I guess you could argue would be a third coin flip, like maybe not going in your favor. But I mean, the fact that like why is Teo getting so much more support than Pages? It does not even make any sense to me. Like, you think anyone homer enough to write Teo's writing in Pages, right?
You would think.
I explained this last week. Teo is off the charts in Vibes Plus. He's this is an important consideration for All-Star voting. I think, like he's one of the faces of the team. And if you're a Dodger homer that's voting, will probably vote for Teo Hernandez just because everyone likes Teo.
I think even players on the other teams like Teo.
Exactly, yeah.
So that's what it really is.
With the kerfuffle and with the Padres and him just going.
He's the one smiling and kind of. It's like,
charming Mike Schill. Like, calm down, it's fine.
We'll be all right.
It's intangibles, man.
Doc wants to see you in the locker room after the game, but like don't go.
To me, NL outfield, it's PCA, Tucker, and then pick one of the other 3 non-Teo people. And I think any of the other 3 are reasonable to pick.
Wow. Dan, what do you think? Does Ronald Acuna Jr. deserve to make the All-Star game, even though he's missed a lot of games? Like, he's been nuclear hot, right? He's been super hot. But like,
I want him there because he's super hot and he's always a fun player to have around, but he's especially fun now. Y'all would have I shared my ballot with these two the other day, and it was all Dodgers and Ronald Acuna. So
that was disgusting, by the way. That to think you would put Tommy Edman above Ketel Marte is,
man, I calls them as I sees them.
That is just, what are you seeing? Because that is not acceptable.
Tommy Edman is leading in NLCS MVPs in the last calendar year, so that's that's all I need to. That's all I need to know.
That's not even an ESPN stat. That's a StatMuse AI stat. Like that. What the hell is that?
I'm really happy that you can't just use NLCS MVPs. I love that you further gatekeep
This
this.
is 2 years ago, as could tell. Oh my god, guys, this is not acceptable. All right, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna read off your guys' ballots right now.
Please.
That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go back over this real quick. All right, because this is, I believe my comment on Dan's ballot was, "You disgust me." That's right. That's what I said. All right, so we'll start with Euno. The NL side of the ballot, I had Freeman, Marte, Muncy, Betts, Pajes, Soto, Tucker, Smith, and Ohtani. For Dan, he, as he mentioned, had Freeman, Edman over Marte, Muncy, Betts, Acuna. Teo was in here with Pajes and Will Smith at catcher. And then we've got Collin, who definitely is he's being objective here. Alonso over Freeman, Marte over Edman, Machado over Muncy, Lindor over Mookie, Acuna, PCA, Tucker, and a catcher. He has Will Smith, but let me tell you why he did that. Because Colin Murphy hates Carson Kelly so much that he would rather vote in a Dodger into the All Star game than see Carson Kelly succeed at anything in life.
My ballot is literally just FWAR with the exception of putting Acuna over Pajes. Everyone else is the
Why are you doing that? Why are you putting Acuna in over Pajes?
What's it called? So I mean, Acuna on 162 game pace right now is putting up a 10 WAR season. Even accounting for missed games, like he's gonna probably break 7 WAR this year unless he slows down. His weighted runs created is 206. He's an elite base runner.
He's not going to keep a weighted runs created of 206, Colin. That's insanity. There's no way. Dan, don't do that, Dan. Don't do that, Dan. Don't put your palms up.
He's a really good player.
He's not 206 weighted runs created plus for the whole year good. Come on.
So I guess to me, what it really comes down to is, I mean, he's already passed Teo, by the way, in both WAR selectures. So in like half the games. So there's no argument for Teo.
I'm not asking about Teo. I'm asking about Pajes.
Yeah. So like, I guess so. The way I break it down, Pajes, Soto versus Acuna. Like if you are just being blind and you just want to follow WAR, Pajes is your guy. If you don't necessarily believe the defensive stats have stabilized and you still like weigh like playing the games, like Soto's your guy. Soto's been a much better hitter. I think you can make a good argument that a 129 weighted runs created is not an all-star level worthy bat if you're talking about a corner outfield position. If you're a center fielder, go ahead, but not from right field. And then if you're talking about just the player who has played the best and don't want to ding someone for, some injuries, Acuna is your guy. And I do think that like we're probably going to look at the end of the season, Acuna is going to have the highest WAR total of the three guys we're talking about. And I don't necessarily think it's crazy to like put Acuna in here. Just with how outstanding he's playing. But again, I can go either way with the three of them. Like those are my three arguments for the three, though.
I also looked up Acuna's numbers to verify his OPS plus, like with previous years. This year's his OPS is at 1,110, but his last healthy year he was over 1,000 as well. He was 1,012, and
but like we're talking about relative to the field, right? Like that's the thing about weighted.
Okay, he was at 171 then. Like so,
that's a great season. That's an awesome Ronald Acuna Jr. season. 200 plus is insane, Dan. Come on, that's just crazy.
It
would be unlikely for him to be over 200.
Yeah, but that's like Aaron Judge numbers. Like, come on, like that's crazy.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, he's been so elite in like the little bit he's played. He's healthy right now. I don't necessarily have a problem with putting a guy like him in. I think we even talked about this last week where Grievous and I kind of had a debate on Acuna versus Trout. Which one, like, would you vote for both? Would you vote for, one or the other? I know Grievous voted for Trout in the AL, which I disagree with. But yeah, Acuna, I think it's a little bit different. I don't think this is necessarily rewarding a famous player. Like, I think this is just kind of giving someone a little bit of a break on the fact that like he, is dinged up a little bit, but he is, taken the field by storm here since he's been back, and he's been the best player in the NL since he's been healthy.
So I have a hot take. I would trade. I would say, and this is like, if we're being kind of like, woo woo about this, I would limit it to one Cubs outfielder. So between Tucker and PCA, pick one, so that we could get Ronald Acuna and Pages in, and only because I think they both are deserving. I think PCA has been going on like he's hot or he's cold, and when he's cold, he's cold, and when he's hot, he's nuclear hot. He's just having like consecutive days with like home runs and going nuts. So like I think PCA is kind of more streaky. Let me reframe the question, fellas. If you're looking at will this last through I'm gonna feel good about this selection at the end of the season. Like I'm gonna feel good about this All-Star game selection at the end of the season. Do any of your votes change?
I think I feel better with my Acuna pick.
You feel better about Acuna over Pages?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think about who, like, when we're talking about end of the season. I think I love the idea of Acuna more. I'm more in my corner on that.
Yeah, that kind of prompted the question because I was like, he's right. Like Acuna's probably going to put up 7 wins this season, or more. Who knows? If he keeps hitting like this, yeah. Even at the 9, he's going to be, killing it. So it's kind of like a referendum on, is it a flash in the pan for PCA? Is Kyle Tucker going to get hurt because he does have a history of kind of missing time?
He does.
Is Pages going to keep this up? So Pages has actually been ramping up defensively. I feel like he started out kind of shaky and has been kind of ramping up. The arm plays, and anybody who's seen Pages' arm, I don't know what is it, what like the Dodgers and Cuban outfielders who have hoses, but between Yasiel Puig and Andy Pages, like this has been an interesting experiment in Cuban outfielders. But Pages' arm will play. The fielding's getting better. The bat has seemed to unlock something with his leg kick in the batting department, and he's been getting the bat a little bit faster to the plate. So I think it's sustainable. I don't think he's going to cross 7 wins, because if he did, something crazy happened. Like if Pages finished top 10 MVP, like me and Dan are popping champagne. Like that's crazy.
That'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. So to say, this outfield is kind of crowded. Juan Soto and Teo too, like has a chance to turn it around. I think he was hot to start the season and then got injured and came back and just cooled off significantly. I think the injury definitely kind of did a number on him. Who kind of projects out to being the top 3 outfielders in the NL? Like, do you guys who do you got, Dan?
Oh man, of the candidates or just overall?
Let's just say of the finalists, yeah.
Of the finalists,
because James Wood, this is some bullshit. Like, yo,
James Wood, who was just intentionally walked 4 times in a game,
like literally
bombs. Yeah, he's been fantastic. Let's see, of the candidates, yeah, I do think, yeah, Tucker, yeah, let's go Acuna, Soto, and Pages.
Ooh, Dan's sticking to his guns.
Acuna, Soto, Tucker, I think will be the 3 I most have faith in. Although, like, I'll say even at the end of the season, I don't think I'm going to regret voting for PCA, because I honestly have never really loved the idea that center fielders are being lumped in with corner outfielders.
I agree with that assessment. And I think that's one of the reasons why wins above replacement should be listed on the ballot, because that way you get a little bit more perspective, because center field is just an outsized value to be hitting at that position. Left field, it's like, yeah, whatever, dude. Good for you, man. Like, oh, you mean the first base of the outfield? Like, and the right field, obviously, it is a defensively fairly intensive position as well. So you have a little bit, it's like the happy medium between center and left. But yeah, this is an interesting conundrum. Is like, will it age out? And so I think Mets fans hope that it's going to be Juan Soto number 1. They're just like, this is not great, guys. Like, we really need Juan Soto to, like, come on, give me something in the 170s of OPS plus, not like whatever the hell you're putting up right now.
I think he's at 150 something.
Oh, it's climbing.
Weighted runs created. So yeah, I mean, he's been better recently.
It's climbing.
But yeah, I don't know. I think I also take a little issue with you being like only one Cub. I don't know. Why don't we just put one Dodger in the infield? I feel like they're overrepresented. Like
There should only be one Dodger in the infield.
Well, there's Will Smith. Who else are you putting in there?
Oh, you're counting catcher at infield. Sorry. It should be two. It should be Max Muncy and Will Smith.
So you're Alonso over Freeman.
I mean, technically, yeah. I don't know if you've watched Freddie Freeman bat lately, but like, you don't want that in your team. Like, you don't want that on your All-Star team. That dude's been stinking it up.
Agree. I mean, Alonso's more deserving. I guess. Like, I mean, to me, at Muncy,
they're both not deserving, Colin. They're both slumping. It's like at the same time.
Who would you put at first, though?
I don't know.
Like, let's say you can ignore everyone else. Because the only guys above 2 are Olsen, Alonso, and Freeman.
It's Olsen, actually. My pick's Olsen.
But Olsen is the weakest bat of the 3. So,
but
really liking first base defense if we're making that.
No. I'm not talking about defense. I'm talking about like who's actually going to hit in the game. Like, bro, like Pete and Freddie haven't been doing jack for the last like month. You know, like I know because I have Freddie on my, or I have Pete Alonso on my team, so I know he's not doing anything. And then Freddie has just been slumping. I watch him every time he gets up. I'm like, this. He looks like he's swinging a golf club out there, and then trying to hit a golf ball. Like it's really rough. So
I mean, he always, to a certain extent, looks like he's swinging a golf club.
That's
His
true.
swing
That's
is
true.
very vertical, but yes, he has not looked very good.
He has not looked very good. What contact he does make is usually kind of weak or tappy or, single. He's not getting the numbers that he was in the beginning of the season. So I don't know what the hell's going on over there. Hopefully this couple of days off kind of gets him back in gear. But yeah, no, I think it's Muncy and Will Smith are the most deserving Dodgers as far as the infield. And then I
Tommy
do
Edman, of course.
Stop. You gotta stop. He is so far and away the best second baseman in baseball. Like it's not even close. Like he's the Ronald Acuna Jr. of second baseman. Like it is not fucking close. Oh my God. Like Dan, you know this. He's on your fantasy team.
He's pretty good.
He's incredible. He's the best second baseman in the MLB.
With his 100 weighted runs created in less than half of WAR.
He missed half the fucking games too. Did I mention that? Like, oh my Lord. And I don't think he's even played that many games at second base. Like we kind of move him around. He plays in the outfield. Like sometimes we have him cover short. Like, dude, what the hell? Why is he here? Where is Bryce Turang? Like what the I know, but like where is he? Like what the fuck, dude? Brendan Donovan, anybody? Like what the hell happened to these guys? Good God. Are you guys just not watching baseball? Oh my Lord. Are the only people watching baseball Dodger fans? Like what the hell is going on this year?
No, it's clearly not Dodger fans. They're the ones just voting. They're not watching, or at least they don't care what they're watching.
Hey. We watch.
No, if you only watch Dodger games,
then of course you're going to only vote for Dodgers. We have the most wins in the major leagues. Like, come on. Okay, we'll do AL side, but I think AL is a little bit more spicy, actually. That's a little bit more fun. Damn, this Paul Goldschmidt fall off needs to be studied. Oh my God. Colin, what happened? Jeez. All right, well, Vladdy's overtaken him in bat numbers and in the All-Star ballot. So we got Vladdy. We got Vladdy at first base. We've got Gleyber Torres at second, ahead of Jackson Holliday. Shortstop, we got Jacob Wilson over Bobby Witt Jr., which is a crime. It's a crime. Jacob Wilson is not that good on defense. Get somebody who could do both. Shortstop is a defensive premium position. Like, get somebody who does both. There's so many choices. Where's Jeremy Pena? Oh my God. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. Sorry. Third baseman, Jose Ramirez over Alex. Jacob Wilson over fucking Bobby Witt Jr. is insane, dude. And Jeremy Pena nowhere is also insane. Oh my God. Third baseman, Jose Ramirez over Alex Bregman. That one's kind of interesting. I think Bregman's actually put up better offensive numbers than Jose.
Bregman's been out for a bit, though.
Oh, okay.
Like, yeah, I don't think that one should be really debatable. It's J-Ram, like by a mile.
Catcher is Cal Raleigh versus who gives a shit. And then outfielders, we got Riley Green at first. Riley Green in first place. This is dark, guys. Second is Javi Baez. Third is Mike Trout. And fourth is Steven Kwan. Oh no, they got Aaron Judge already. I don't know why I didn't
Right.
even like. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. And then designated hitter, they got Ryan O'Hearn over Ben Rice. Jacob Wilson starting the All Star game. This is insane. This is insane. I can't, guys. I know he's great. He's a great bat, like a great bat. Okay, at a premium defensive position, but he doesn't play premium defense, boys. That's the problem. Like he sucks. Like he is awful on defense, dude. Like what the hell? You know, like I've had this long suspicion that players elect to play shortstop because it's good for their WAR numbers. Like they kind of like funnel there at the bat plays because they just want to spam their WAR numbers ahead of like arbitration/free agency. And oh man, Jacob Wilson might be the biggest perpetrator of this I've seen. Like this guy doesn't deserve it. This guy doesn't belong at shortstop. Like he is not good. I don't know.
Jeremy Pena not being there
It's a crime.
Is a bit silly.
That is baseball terrorism. How do you not have fucking Jeremy Pena on the ballot, dude? What the hell?
More than double Jacob Wilson's. It'd be war.
Yeah. Jacob Wilson's not even the best shortstop in his own division. What the hell?
Well, yeah, we're arguing him and Pena, right? Like,
Well, Zach Neto's also ahead of him in wins above replacement.
I mean, FOR has Wilson third.
Oh, okay.
Comfortably.
Okay, so Pena, who's second at
behind
F4?
Witt. Well behind Pena and Witt. No, Bobby Witt.
Yeah. Wait. Oh, second in the AL?
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense. All right. Well, let's go over the picks real quick. So Euno had Vladdy, Torres, basically chalk. But shortstop, he had Witt over Jacob Wilson. And then he had Mike Trout in that second outfield spot with Judge. So, and then we've got Cal Raleigh and Ryan O'Hearn. So that's kind of chalk. Let's see if anything interested in here. Oh, God. Yeah, Dan had Jacob Wilson for some reason. I don't know. I think he had a brain fart or something.
He's on both of my fantasy teams. I'm not nothing if not a homer for my guys.
Collin, et tu, Brute? What is this? You're also Jacob Wilson. What is going on?
I believe that Jacob Wilson should make the All Star game. I do not believe that
he's gonna make it, Collin.
No, I do not believe the players or the managers and the commissioner are going to put him in. So yeah, I want to see him get in.
You really don't think they're gonna put him in when the A's have to put somebody in? Who the hell are they gonna take?
A's. Let me go back to my list. I have it right over here. There's someone else. You know, you might be right. That might have been their only one. Well, yeah. I mean, either way, then
they don't have any relievers they can send in there. I know that for a fact. That A's defense is terrible, dude, and that pitching staff is horrendous.
Either way, then what's your issue with it? Like Jacob Wilson is the only one that's going to be picked.
He shouldn't be starting. That's insane, bro.
I do believe that there is an argument, depending on how they want to handle like the backup DH spot. Sometimes they just pick an offensive player there that you could put Rooker there.
That is dicey, man. Oh man,
but that'd be the only other.
Bro, that is really dicey. What the hell?
But either way, I mean, I believe all three are getting in: Wilson, Witt, and Pena. So,
I'm with you. I don't think they're gonna let Pena slide when he's literally one of the best players in baseball this year.
Yeah. So it's kind of just more about rewarding.
Nothing exciting in the AL at all, boys.
The outfield's an absolute disaster.
Yeah, this is rough, guys. Javi Baez is about to make an All-Star game. He was the butt of every joke last year. Anyone who looked at the Detroit Tigers cap table was having a good guffaw at Javi Baez's expense.
Here are the FOR rankings of the four guys that are going up for the last two starting spots. You have Riley Green at number 3.
Okay.
You have Javi Baez at number 12.
Nice.
You have Stephen Kwan is number 6 actually, but he's not going to get picked. And Trout number 35.
Trout just missed time, man. Trout doesn't lose fights; he just runs out of time. You know, like
there's only 45 starting outfielders. He's 35th.
It's just missed time, dog. He missed time. What do you expect him to do, man? He missed time. I think Goat's making it. but I think just because he's been kind of heating up too. So hopefully, it helps him.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, it seems like Kwan's going to lose this, which is a shame because I think he's the only other person in the finalist that's deserving of actually being an All-Star. Period. Right,
Besides Riley Green.
Right, yeah, Riley Green's a good pick.
Yeah,
but I mean, of the final three, like Kwan's the only one that's even, I think, tangentially like All-Star level. Baez and Trout shouldn't be in this game.
Javi Baez being here is a lot of fun. I personally love it. Dan, anything on this ballot like kind of stick out to you as far as like voting update?
Yeah, Baez being there feels like an overcorrection because he was so awful the last couple of years in Detroit that actually getting production out of him feels like El Mago's back
In left field.
Yeah. So yeah, that one's funny. But yeah, like you said, it's pretty chalky. Like there's pretty clear choices. I will say that after all the American League second base slander we did last week, Marcus Semien has almost caught up to Glaber. Like he's almost made up for his terrible start by playing like himself, and he probably the deserving second candidate over Jackson Holiday.
I'm with you there. Only because poor Glaber Torres is 56th in overall wins above replacement this year, and he's hitting to a 134 OPS. That's pretty good. 134 OPS plus is an All-Star. I mean, that's an All-Star.
Yeah, no, I mean Glaber's probably been the best. I'm taking issue with Jackson Holiday being there.
What's wrong with Jackson Holiday?
I think the second one should have been Jazz. Actually, I know.
I
know this group does not like the Yankees, but
what do you mean not like the Yankees? I don't have anything against the players.
Whatever.
I just hate the Yankee
franchise
people.
Team,
yeah.
But no, I mean, I think Jazz is probably the second most deserving. I mean, he's the second highest like weighted runs created. I if I had another pick, I would pick him.
Jazz actually had a game at short this year, apparently.
Yeah, but I mean, he's primarily a second baseman. They've been using Volpe, I think, at short.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, AL second base is a real telethon. It's lean out here. Pretty tough to watch, but yeah, Glaber's been putting up respectable numbers, and Jazz, to Murph's point, Jazz has been putting up respectable batting numbers as well. So,
yeah, I guess to counter Dan, I think I would push for Jazz to be the backup over Semien.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm talking like recency, like
he's surging.
Yeah, he has like a 930 OPS in the last month. Like he's been hot, but yeah, he started terribly. That's
like the anti-Freddie Freeman.
Yeah, because at the end of it, like he's at a 91 for weighted runs created plus.
I know. Yeah, like I said, he started awfully.
He's surging. He started off so bad, like unforgivably bad.
Since he's been great before. Like I sort of
track record give him
exactly.
My fondest memory of Jazz Chisholm Jr. is actually him covering third base. So that's where I kind of see him.
more as a third baseman.
Yeah, I see him as a third baseman who couldn't.
My fondest memory of Jazz was trading him for Gallon, but I'm starting to maybe not think of that as fondly anymore. So,
the monkey's paw is curling, Colin. It's getting real dicey out here. Jazz is still a major league player. Zach, I don't know.
Man, we're playing the real long game.
Oh, good God. Yeah, we're gonna trade him to the Yankees. We're gonna get rid of his ass. Oh man. All right, let's take a quick break. When we get back, we're gonna talk some NBA moves and a certain, how shall I say, a certain D-backs fan that actually might spur a greater discussion on fan participation in ball games. So we'll be back with that. All right, guys. Just your favorite NBA, your biggest NBA move.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever you think is besides Murphy can't do KD.
Yeah, we talked about KD last week.
Yeah, we talked about KD last week. So all right, fellas, we're back. We're gonna talk some hoop, some ball and basket. We're gonna talk some NBA offseason. You know, Shams keeps like hyping this thing up. He's like, "Oh, this is gonna be a big old offseason." I'm like, "I'm still waiting, Shams." Like,
Today was
give
pretty
us some
big.
news, dog. Today was an interesting day. Damian Lillard waived by the Milwaukee Bucks. Stretch and wave, they Luol denged him. And they're going to pay him what looks like $20 million over the next 5 years or something like that. Something crazy.
Yeah, 22 million per year for the next 5 years.
Good God. Well, Dame is free to choose which team he wants to come back to after he's done rehabbing from his Achilles rupture. He was the original Achilles rupture this year, right? He was the first one
Of
out of the playoffs
like,
team?
contender guys, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it was 3 big ones. It was him, Tatum, then
Halliburton, yeah. So Dame time is in a couple of years, but he's going to sign with the team and probably get paid the absolute bare bones minimum to continue to play wherever or rehab wherever he's going to rehab. The Bucks in turn, with that extra cap room, were able to pick up Miles Turner from the Indiana Pacers, and there's been a host of other moves. Dan, what's your favorite? Or actually, no. Let's start with Murph. Murph, what's your favorite move this year so far from the NBA?
I mean, I'm going to ignore the Rockets here for this one, actually, and I'm going to just go outside of that. And I'll say I've liked what the Nuggets have done just across the board. Getting out of MPJ's contract, even if they had to give up that unprotected first. Cam Johnson is a good player. I saw a lot of people making fun of the bring Brown back, but I think a lot of people are kind of misconstruing it. Rather, not like bringing Brown back to be Brown. They're bringing Brown back to be Braun, because Connor Braun is now Brown, and now Brown is going to replace Braun. If you're talking about their, finals winning team. And along with that, the Tim Hardaway Jr. move today, as well as Valanciunas, like I think they're now up to 8 NBA players in their rotation, which is a lot more than the 6 with MPJ's broken arm as one of those that they were trotting into the playoffs. So I think this, for a team that was kind of up against it, like this is a pretty savvy retooling I think that the Nuggets have done. And, they gave the Thunder all they could handle. This is still a very good team with the best player in the world. And I like what they did this offseason to convince Jokic that, hey, we're going to continue to try and be a contending team in your prime.
I like that. Dan, do you have maybe that was your favorite move, do you have like a second favorite?
That was one, but I just remembered the other team that's doing great so far this year is the Atlanta Hawks. They're taking advantage of this wide open Eastern Conference. They traded for Porzingis, they signed Nickeil Alexander-Walker, they signed Luke Kennard, and they managed to swindle Gio Dumars and the New Orleans Pelicans out of a unprotected first round pick next year. So
I mean, that's
they're
just
gonna
rude.
Yeah,
That was my favorite move. Damn it.
So yeah, they're making moves, and yeah, like the East is wide open, especially with Tatum hurt and Halliburton hurt. Like any of these good teams could win it, and I think the Hawks are pushing their chips in, and I can see them competing.
Yeah. I like that too. No, the Hawks have definitely been making a push, and props to them. Yeah, you kind of just tread over my favorite move, which was the Joe Dumars Pelicans trading a super first. It wasn't even like an unprotected first. It's a super first. Like whichever one is better is the pick. Like that's insanity.
I think what's it called? My favorite reaction to that was Bill Simmons like, they do know they're in the West, right? But what are they doing? Even if Zion's healthy, that's a play-in team at best. Like what?
Imagine building up all these assets, because the Pellies have so many assets. Like first they have 2 first-round picks to trade next year. That's like you can start with that. They built up this war chest. And then they bring in Joe Dumars to squander all of it. That's like, oh my god!
That was when I found out that Joe Dumars had a job in the NBA again. Like, I'm just that by itself is surprising. But yeah, what a way to reintroduce yourself to the league.
You know what? What a way to just dash all the hopes and dreams of people who thought, maybe Joe Dumars is like figured it out this time. You know, like maybe you know what? Like he got a new job. Maybe he showed something where it's like, oh, this guy can, you know, he can wheel and deal.
He's
Nope.
probably got Charlie Villanueva and Ben Gordon on the phone again.
You know, what I really want him to have on the photos, Rob Pelinka, because I could use a little Zion over here, man. Like, oh my gosh,
That's a pretty good lineup for 12 games a year.
I know.
I have a question for you guys. Is Joe Dumars basically the NBA version of Tony La Russa?
Ooh,
Like had that successful stint in Detroit versus St. Louis, whatever, goes and then, you know, wrecks the Kings, wrecks the Diamondbacks, and then somehow gets another job with the White Sox. And now Dumars somehow gets a job with the Pellies. Like
that's a
clean
parallel.
That's a
that's a clean parallel because the Pellies have all the assets and all the stuff built up, just like the White Sox did when Tony La Russa took the reins. And I remember being like, oh, this White Sox team is going to be a problem. Like, Dan, I think we talked about it. I was like, this team's going to be a problem.
A few times.
Yeah,
they looked
like
good. That rotation was great.
And then they weren't a problem anymore. Like Tony La Russa just started beefing with everybody. Your mean Mercedes. Do you remember your mean? Oh my gosh. They had a dynamo of a catcher and they just like beefed because I guess he swung on a 3-0 or something like that. He did something dumb. And then like Tony La Russa just put him in the doghouse. And I was like, what are you doing? Like,
yeah. I will say the La Russa accomplishment on the White Sox still stands alone because the White Sox were in a better place and then they completely bottomed out last year. Like that fall from grace is impressive. Like Dumars needs to squander a few more assets to really compete. But
I agree. He needs to trade Zion to the Lakers. Yeah. He just sent everybody back to Lakers.
Luka and Zion on the same team. Is there a team Nico Harrison could hate more?
I'll tell you what, though, they're gonna get to know Mexican food real good over here. That's a really like interesting parallel, though, Murph. I'm totally with it. It's only because TLR really, that was a 4-year window that he just bombed. Like he just put a bomb in the middle and just set it off. He's like, you know what? I don't like the White Sox. I don't like baseball. Oh God! And it was fresh off of a DUI or something. I think TLR just had a DUI.
Mm-hmm.
He's had multiple.
Reinsdorf, dude, what the hell is wrong with you? Like, what pictures does he have of you, bro? Like, how do you do that? Like, oh my God.
Oh. Yeah, that was. Who knows what he did to Lubob? Like,
oh my God,
completely just died as a baseball player.
Dude, watch Lubob get traded and just start raking. Like, watch him just be like a freaking MVP frontrunner all of a sudden. It's just like, is that bad over there? Like,
he looked so good for a couple of years, and then he looks awful now.
Future MVP, I thought. I was like, this guy is a future MVP candidate. Like,
yeah, he was. Yeah, he had the. Yeah,
I'm still shocked. I'm still shocked that Tony La Russa could anti-Midas the franchise that hard. Like, that is the touch of death, man. Like, oh, Joe.
Yeah, so that's why, Joe Dumars.
Joe Dumars has got some. Yeah, he's got some damage to do first. Yeah, because he actually like. I will say taking Darko over Carmelo Anthony was a choice. You know, like.
Yeah, they still won. Won a championship.
It wasn't bad enough that he missed out on Melo. He missed out on Dwayne Wade too. Like that's the same draft, like bro, and Chris Bosh.
Think about it. If Darko, wasn't just such a colossal bust, they probably don't trade for Rasheed Wallace that year too. But he was just it was such a bad pick, and they recognized it so quickly. They actually were able to get Sheed. So
that is a little insane. But again, it's Joe Dumars who swung that trade. So like props to Joe. Like he.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus, man! If that team had Melo, oh my God, oh my God. Oh, Detroit might not have gone bankrupt. Like that's like, so crazy that is.
Yeah.
Oh, Malice at the Palace might have never happened. Like,
I don't know about that.
Okay, yeah, we'll go that far. Actually,
I think that more to do with the Pacers employing like a bunch of like head cases than anything.
What head cases? Reggie Miller,
Steven Jackson.
Steven Jackson's a very reasonable man.
Artest and Captain Jack. Like, come on. Like
Ron Artest, his name is literally Meta World Peace now. Come on. That looks ridiculous.
This is pre-world peace.
I blame Ben Wallace with a throat shove. You know, like that was what set it off.
He really did escalate a situation that
That's
had
what I'm
no
saying.
business
Yeah, for
escalating.
sure.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Okay. Where the hell were we talking about NBA moves? What's the NBA move that I like the most? Yeah, it was Joe Dumars trading the super first. I like comedy. Okay, like I'm here for the fun stuff. That's why I loved it when we got Luka Doncic because I thought it was hilarious. I also thought it was hilarious that the Mavs got the number 1 overall pick. You know, I like comedy. All right, like the NBA has a sense of humor. I think, but to Colin's point, I think the Nuggets have kind of set the bar, like kind of cut it off to where it's like it's OKC, it's the Nuggets, like, you know, I guess to some degree, I guess the Wolves could be in the mix. I don't know. They just re-signed Naz Reid.
It's tough to hate on a team that has made back-to-back conference finals, and they've had the Nuggets number specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But between those three plus the Rockets, I think it's just a clear cut. There's levels to this.
Yeah, I was gonna say, the Rockets now that they have Durant and added DFS and even Clint Capella for like 12
We
minutes
didn't
a
even
game,
want
like,
DFS, man. You can have him, man. You didn't even. Oh my god, I'm so stressed, dude. Why do
we
we?
got Jake LaRavia.
He's one of the best players on the fucking team, dude. I don't understand why the fuck you let him walk, man. What is wrong with you?
I will say,
We
Jake
need
LaRavia's
shooting.
highlight tape looked fun. Like he does a lot of highlight plays. I'm sure since we got him so cheap, he's not consistent with them. But
Oh, you guys all know what my favorite part about Jake LaRavia is. We talked about it last night.
from what I could tell, googling it today, it is fake. But
and what I can and what I can only call a wildly not safe for work tweet regarding injuries. But I was like, that's my kind of guy right there.
Though. I didn't even click into it. It's fake though, DG.
Yeah, as from what I could tell today, researching, like there's not that much news about it, but second, what I found seemed to indicate that it was fake.
It's a shame.
They picked the perfect player, where it's like,
just they really did. They really did. He's obscure enough to where it's like, I wouldn't put it past him.
Yeah, like no one would have looked it up beforehand.
Yeah, Austin Reeves can't do that. You know.
Yeah.
Jake LaRavia, who?
Yeah. Well, hopefully he's good. Like God. I said, the Kings fans on Reddit seemed sad to see him go. So that's always a good sign. Like if they're actually watching him and like him, I'll take him. Great. Hopefully we can get an actual center. Even
because that guy's like 6'8". Yeah, that's not a center at all.
Oh no, it's
a white guy at 6'8". Like what the hell?
I feel like you guys are at this point just Ayton or bust. Like I don't really see anything else out there.
I've heard Ayton Horford combo. So, which my knees are hurting just hearing that.
I've been hearing Horford to the Warriors, which
also makes
kind of makes sense. Yeah,
also makes a lot of sense. Oh, can you imagine Horford and Draymond in the same locker room? Like, chef's kiss. Oh, Horford, just take 5 minutes away from Draymond and see what happens. Like, oh my god. All right. So, Collin, I kind of tasked you. We're gonna shift gears back to baseball real quick. Kind of tasked you with your take on this recent John Boy video that came out, and I think it's better if I just pull it up. And we're not gonna hopefully not play too much of this, but he does a good job introducing the issue. Okay. Where is it? Sorry, guys.
No worries. I also love that, Diamondbacks, where are we now in back-to-back weeks where we've had like a pretty big fan like controversy in our games. Like this team just continues to find new ways to get in the headlines and just do ridiculous things. If it's not for the Pac-12 after dark level of insanity in the games, it's all this other stuff that just does not happen.
The most talked about 500 team.
I know, we're like a small market too. Like normally when we're like this, we're completely under the radar, but we've just been so weird all year that we just forced the media to actually, talk about how insane we've been.
Oh, all right. Well, let's do it real quick. I don't know if the sound's on. But this is a D-backs fan. Oh my gosh, showing my message from Brendan. Oh no, Brendan. Okay. So this is a D-backs fan who sits in the left field section in the home run seats and has been subject of multiple umpire reviews. Same fan involved in 4 umpire reviews, it says. And we've got this fan kind of sometimes leaning over the railing. That's the fellow right there with his hands in the air and screaming. Collin, 4 umpire reviews. Some of these are blatant fan interference, just blatant. Okay. What's your take on this as our resident D-backs fan? What are we thinking here? What should we do with this guy?
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously you can't you can't tolerate this anymore. This is from all accounts, people have found other ones. Like there's been 5, I believe, on that video itself, wherever he mentions that he's been involved in 10 himself. So that's like what he admitted to. So it's clear something, you know. If I were running it, I think I'd probably ban him from the left field bleachers. It's the only place you can do that at the Diamondback Stadium. Like I don't even think Wembayana could rob it from the pool. So the right field is safe. But yeah, and then if he breaks it again, then I think it's almost a stadium ban. You just can't have a fan like getting involved in the game this often. I think he's been ejected now 3 times over this, which does mean that, you know, a good chunk of the times that he's been involved in the reviews, they were home runs, and he's just, you know, doing the correct home fan duty of screwing over the person trying to rob the home run. But, you know, 3 is that's a lot of violations for the same guy to make, especially as a fan who's not supposed to be involved in all. You know, they tell you about it during the game. There's signs and those outfields telling you not to cross over, and it's clear he doesn't really care or respect to follow that. And it just leads to situations like last night where, you know, no one's really fully happy with kind of what was decided. Originally, the umps called an out on the field. Then they reviewed it and they overturned it to a double. Giants fans still thought it was potentially the game-tying homer, so they're mad they didn't get that. They feel like the Diamondbacks got an advantage because their fan interfered. Obviously, going to leave everyone all mad, and it just puts the umps in a horrible spot too, because they're trying to have to hypothetically guess what would have happened if this fan wasn't there, and the fan shouldn't be there, and he's done this multiple times.
Yeah, always a bummer when, you know, a fan gets involved and takes the game away from the game, right? Like you have to leave it to umpires who, like, you know, we all trust and care about, you know, and their opinions are always ironclad and perfect. And have them make a judgment call on what should happen in a game when, if he hadn't touched the ball, who knows? It's a double off the wall. You know, I think, Murph, you kind of said, like, he wouldn't have been a triple. It was kind of limping on the way out. And
yeah.
So, yeah, it's always unfortunate. I will say that there are some instances, and I'm going to show the inverse of this, or the converse of this. This is not what I wanted. But there was something that I saw. And Murph, you know, you guys, Dan, we're all kind of tall fellas. So we kind of, if we stand up and we put our hand up, like, that's a good amount of like coverage there. You know, we might be able to, you know, if we're sitting in the front row in a foul ball section, you know, maybe something like this will happen. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and share this. And you guys have probably seen this before.
Or whatever it is, and you think about the different pitches and the grips that are required, the fact that he leaves the ball in his glove is
foul ball.
Piscotty, first pitch, fouls one, first base. Votto over by the wall is there.
Oh!
The fan, look at Votto, look at him and says, dude,
The fans got to know better than this. Is Joey Votto's got a great beat on this ball. This guy's not even realizing it now.
Oh.
With that being said, I don't know if I'm going to blame the fan completely. Yes, he should have gotten out of the way. Maybe he was distracted as Joey Votto.
That is the ultimate dick move after something like that. Joey Votto apologized later and sent him a signed ball, which, like, is pretty dope. And it's a very Joey Votto thing to do. But
I mean, I think he did owe him an apology. Like, that is kind of, it's a little aggressive, even if it is hilarious.
Merv, I don't know, man. Like, bro, because, like, you could do the same thing for the other team, like, against when you're on defense, and you could do it and basically legally obstruct a player from getting to a foul ball that would otherwise be probably an out if they were able to reach it.
Yeah, like what happened with Trout earlier this year. Like,
that's right. Yeah. No, Trout had the ball, and Trout, to his credit, was super classy about it. Was just like, hey man, like I would have done the same thing. You know, like I totally get it. So
and the fan looked like, oh no.
Yeah, the fan was all, to the fans' credit, they were very apologetic. They were like, oh, I'm so sorry, dude. What the hell? I mean, so what is the appropriate level of fan interference here? Like, if you're straight up and down, are you good? You know, because
I follow the exact rules on it. Like you can take the edge of it all the way up, and that's what you should be allowed to do. My beef on this one specifically is you're a Diamondbacks fan. Why are you interfering with Tim Tala? You know, you're not even helping the team out here. I would also throw out that, you know, he said he's been reviewed 10 times. I confirmed that was his like actual comment on the video. He's been ejected 3 times. So 7 times he's done this or whatever, apparently legally, according to, you know, what even the reviews say. But I would still say, you know, 3 times causing an issue like this is too many. It's
too many. That's,
yeah, it's 3 too many. Like, what the hell?
But like, you can understand someone fucking up once. Like,
okay,
but like again and then again is.
And now you're bragging about having done it 10 times? Like,
come on now.
On a YouTube video? What is wrong with you, bro?
Yeah. I mean, so that's kind of where I'm not as sympathetic to this. Like, I know he is. I mean, I remember them showing some of those videos. A couple of times he did ensure that the you know, away team was not able to rob a home run that they maybe could have gotten to. Like, his glove did save that, and he did do it legally. So, you know, he has benefited us in the past. But again, three ejections. Like, 1 fan. Go on, that's a lot.
Eject me once, shame on you. Eject me twice. If ejected, we can't be ejected again. All right, like you can't.
But some people were calling for a full stadium ban and stuff. I think that's just a little too harsh for someone who's clearly like a pretty like into it,
huge baseball fan.
Into it, yeah. Honestly, just remove him from the situation where he can interfere, and I think that's good enough. And if he breaks it again, then maybe move towards a stadium ban. I don't think necessarily like what he's doing. Like, there's no mean-spirited thing here. The guy's just getting a little too wrapped up in the game, and it's affecting the game, which can't be allowed. But like a full stadium ban, I think is a little too harsh for something like this. That's my take.
I like that. Guys, to what degree does, and Collin kind of talked about this with the Joey Votto incident that we just showed. To what degree does the player have a responsibility to express themselves in a way that isn't going to turn the public against the fan? Because the other incident I'm talking about is Steve Bartman, right? And it's like, I would have caught it but for this guy, you know, and we don't know that, you know. Was it Moises Alou? Like, who was it?
Yeah.
It was Moises Alou, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was just like, he's like demonstrably upset, right? But that turns Steve into this kind of like, he turns him into the GOAT, right? Like, that's not great. And then you got Joey here.
Pariah.
Yeah.
He went into hiding, basically.
Literally could knock him out. Like, like witness protection wasn't good enough for this guy. And then we have this Joey Votto where he's like tugging the jerseys, like, hey, what the hell? Like, you're a Reds fan. Like to what degree do players have a responsibility to kind of like handle it the way Trout did, you know? Which is like, I don't know, that's asking a lot. But like, do they have somewhat a responsibility to kind of no sell it so that the fan, you know, a customer is always right kind of thing, where it's just like, you know what, part of the game, you know?
To me, I draw the line at if it's the home fans, like if you're the away team and the home fan does it to you, deal with it. Those are the rules.
Yeah, like, no, everybody's drinking at that point. Are you kidding me? Like, that happens and we're all yeah.
I get making us think about it, maybe to try and get a review, but like afterwards, even, you know, I think the classy thing would be to kind of just acknowledge, hey, fair play to you. You know, if it's a home fan thing, I think kind of making like I think gesticulating your frustration is fine. Moises Alou's like giant freak out. Like,
did he like throw his glove on the ground and have like a complete crash out? Like, what did he do?
I can't remember exactly, but he was very demonstrative, like throughout his entire thing, and obviously that caused a lot of the issues. My only issue with the Votto thing specifically is he touched the fan. Like, I think that's where I kind of draw a line to an extent. And yeah, it's funny he was grabbing the logo, but that's why I do think an apology is in order there, because like, like I don't think we want to be normalizing fan player contact, especially stuff that can be avoided. Like obviously arms going into the stands, there's gonna be some contact or whatever, but stuff afterwards showing disgust. I think no one wants to see another Mouse at the Palace incident. Like limiting contact, especially after the play, and especially disgust and other like emotions like that, I think is just something that you want to do, and that's why I think Votto was correct to apologize and try and make it right, because he touched the guy. I don't think he should be doing that.
King Solomon over here.
Yeah, I mean, I think he was right in apologizing and giving him a ball, but I also like what he did. Like if it makes for a great moment there, like everyone's there for entertainment. I think even I don't think that fan was vilified too much. If it's in a playoff game, like with Bartman, that's, it's tougher, but also it's higher stakes. Like it sucks what happened with Bartman, but Allou's reaction to that is a big part of that moment and a big part of the mystique of the playoffs, like, and of the curse. Like if that Bartman moment hadn't happened, like 2016, obviously when the Cubs finally won was a big deal, but like that was part of the, like the curse, like
the exorcism.
You need the evidence of the curse, like in action to really drive home, like the ball going through Buckner's legs and Steve Bartman and all that fun stuff.
Like that. The Jungian side of things, Dan, with the hero's journey of the actual curse. And I like this. It's pretty good. Man, I like both perspectives here. This is actually surprisingly good content, boys. I like this. Well, my dream was always to be the guy to do it to an opposing team, because I'm 6'6" and I've got a standing reach of 7.5 feet. I'm catching that. I'll just shove the fucking player too. You come into my section, you jump in, I'm gonna just truck your ass back. Like, you imagine Matt Chapman coming into the third baseline and trying to catch a foul ball, and he comes to me, I'm just fucking truck his ass. Like, motherfucker, fan player interaction precedent, man. I got your precedent right here, bitch. Sorry. I love you, Matt Chapman. I'm sorry. But then we all dream of being ball players, and maybe not in that way though. We'll be back. We're gonna do matchups we're looking forward to, gratitude rants, and we'll try to keep it kind of moving. All right, guys, we're at 1 hour 30 seconds. So let's hustle through. You guys have matchups in mind and stuff like that, or should we
matchups?
Yeah, I stuff.
All right, cool. I don't really have shit, huh? God. Okay. Okay. And we're back. We're gonna do matchups to look forward to, gratitude and rants. Thanks for joining us. Pretty interesting slate of games this week, but Murph, I'm gonna do my matchup and I'm gonna do my gratitude rant and leave it to you guys real quick. My matchup I'm looking forward to is actually the Giants versus the D-backs, because I don't know if you noticed, Colin, but you guys treading water is still better than whatever the hell the Padres and Giants are doing. They are holding on to cinder blocks while they dive into the water. So they are really in just trying to blow these games. The division is still open.
Red Sox were right to trade Rafael Devers.
Yeah, they did the right thing.
He did tank the team's chemistry. Immediately
got cold. Like, what? Murph, the D-backs are still in it, and here's why I look forward to D-backs Giants games or D-backs anybody games. This is the most exciting team in baseball. This is the most excited I've ever been to watch a 500 team in my life. I don't know what's going on in the water over there. This bullpen is so bad, but you know what? The bats are clutch as fuck. So something has to give. It's really hey guys, which one's it gonna be? Bullpen or bats? Bullpen or bats? Who's gonna win? Who scores last? That's just fun ass baseball. Is it shitty baseball? Yes. Is it fun to watch? Also, yes. Like wants to hate. So
Sort of like Red Sox Reds yesterday. Just
that
chaos
was
ball every day.
horrendous baseball. Oh my God. I'm shook.
In 3 straight games. Yes, we won last night, but we blew a save in 3.
You blew the save, but you still got the win. That's what I'm saying, Murph. Is it you're gonna blow the save, but like what we
Very
really want to know is
D-backs.
are you gonna win? Like
It looks like also apparently the Diamondbacks just announced they banned the fan from the stadium for this year.
oh,
Just
that
for the rest of this year, though.
sucks.
So we're not going to have them to play defense against the Giants tonight.
Dude,
so.
fucking John Boy, bro. Yo, Jimmy has too much power, man. It's out of control. He's a little power worker now ever since that MLB deal. Look at him just getting fans kicked out and shit. Man. Well, now you turned him into a sympathetic figure because I feel like the punishment didn't fit the crime.
I don't hate a partial. I don't know. I think it's a little harsh, but
just move him to the side. Just move him to the baselines.
I think it's harsh, but it has happened 3 times.
Yeah, it's a little insane.
I get it. Yeah.
Exactly. A full ban would have been way too much for me. But this is a decent compromise.
Yeah.
I think.
I don't know. I feel like not letting me watch this team live this year is punishment because this is some fun shit. Not gonna lie. I'm glad we have a good baseball team. The Dodgers are amazing and they're cruising and our bats really do feel inevitable at times. But this T-Backs that's what baseball's all about.
Collin,
you don't know what the fuck's gonna happen.
Is it fun as a D-backs fan? I
feel like Colin's gotten new bags under his eyes and shit since this started.
Obviously it's fun for us watching from the outside. Oh wow,
Colin's wearing a beanie because I think all his hair's falling out. Watching this fucking team.
I will say it is pretty amusing in the sense that the amount of times I've been told to stop watching a game by at Fitch, my wife, or someone else that this game is over, and then for the lead to switch 2 more times afterwards in any direction. And I'm just no, it's really not this. The Cubs one where we scored 10 in the 8th just to blow it later was probably the first one in this year of it. I was down in San Diego with some college friends, and then the 8-3 lead and 8-3 deficit in the 9th when we came back to beat the
Braves.
The Braves. Yep. There's just so many examples of where people would tell me it's ridiculous to continue watching this game. This game is over. I'm well, whether we're winning or losing, I'm never really, really comfortable. And I know a lot of fans joke about that, but this team has really taken that to the absolute extreme this year. And I wouldn't say it's been super enjoyable to watch. The pen comes in, you have no idea what's going to happen. You almost kind of hope to trail by a couple runs heading into the 7th. Than to lead by a couple runs heading into the 7th, because it just feels like the bats come alive better in that situation versus, trusting the pen with a couple run lead just feels yeah.
Honestly, don't even turn it on before the 7th inning. Like I was telling you, if you're at the game and you heard "Take me out to the ball game," you've actually wasted every minute you spent at the ballpark before that. Why are you're way too early.
But sometimes you can miss some really, big changing things like Euno Suarez's 4 home run game, giving up 11 runs before recording an out. There's some real historic moments that happened. So this team is just fun to watch all the way through. But I wouldn't necessarily say I'm enjoying this season.
He looks very stressed.
Yeah.
As a baseball observer, this is awesome because it's so much fuckery. And I would not dare gamble on this game. I think I would have a fucking heart attack if I bet even $1 on these games. I'm so glad I'm not sports betting anymore.
We're just immune to whoever we play too. We've moved the 30th ranked offense out of last 3 times in series this year. It just doesn't matter what we're doing to an extent, who we're playing. The game is going to end up with some of the weirdest plays. Lawler standing in the round, trucking that Giants guy or whatever. And then the Umsall trying to figure out where to place the runners. So many things I've never seen before or happen once in a year. And they just seem to happen every single series to this team. It's just unbelievable. Even last night's game I thought was being kind of normal, even with the blown save, until obviously then the fan incident happened. And we find out he's been doing this for apparently ever.
No normal games.
There's just nothing normal about this season at all, except for
Yeah.
your guys' record, which is 500. Like, it's just, that's all roads lead to 500. You guys really are impressive in the way that's happening.
I think even saying 500 is a little underselling it. We're 5-5 in our last 10 games. We're 20-20 at home and 21-21 on the road. So, you know, this team, for all the chaos, is somehow just the most aggressively mid disaster you could ever have hoped for.
I mean, I like anything that leads to NL West cannibalism, like anything but the Dodgers playing each other. That's great. If you guys are splitting series and stuff, awesome. So that's my match I'm looking forward to. Gratitude. Dan, I'll talk about it a little bit. We talked about it yesterday. I had a human moment with Dan yesterday. I had a misunderstanding with Dan. I got a little salty, and I'm really grateful. I was really thinking about this yesterday. I'm so grateful to have Dan as a friend, and it's because I can tell him, "Hey, I'm a little butthurt about this thing that you did," and then he'll be like, "Oh, I didn't mean that at all," you know. And he just kind of came in and just corrected the record. It was like one of the most. I told Eunice about it, and she's like, "That's the most mentally healthy exchange I've ever heard." And I'm just like, guys do this kind of on the regular, but like, and I realized, like, you know what, like, for all the crappy internet interactions we see, and all the crappy, like, like fighting, and Capitol Hill's doing all their crazy shit, and we got ICE and all this bullshit going on. Like, for two guys to be able to just say, like, "Hey man, like, that kind of sucked, I wish you didn't do that," and then the other guy's just like, "I'm sorry, man." Like, that moment to me is like so profound, bro. Like, it's legit. It doesn't happen anymore, man. It's usually like, and to Dan's immense credit, he didn't defend himself. He didn't say anything to defend himself. He literally was just like, "I'm sorry I did that." And like, I'm getting kind of emotional thinking about it, because so, like, how many guys in your life do you know that you can do that with, where you're just like vulnerable with them and they're like, "Take good care of you," and guys, like, this is like a legit guy to guy thing that I wanted to talk about. It's like, it's a guy thing where sometimes we put up too much of like a tough exterior, or we're competitive and we're ego driven, and off our TRT and shit, like, whatever it is, right? Like, but I think that those are the moments, those are the human moments that I think most guys should have. And I feel like we don't get enough of that these days. And you kind of see it. People are getting more withdrawn, and they're kind of doing their own thing. And part of that, this podcast has kind of helped to cure that. It's kind of helping to address that for me. It's like, where do we have these guy to guy moments where it's like, "Hey, you're a human being, I'm a human being, and we just talk like human beings," and we have honest moments. We might collide with each other. We might, have some friction, but at the end of the day, we're boys, so we'll smooth it out. Like, that doesn't happen enough these days, I think. And so I'm really grateful for those types of moments. Sorry to get all super sentimental today, but no, that's just real, man. I really appreciate Dan. And I know Murph would have done the exact same thing. And so, yeah, I appreciate you guys
really
a
hear
lot.
what you're saying, though, just because, like, I mean, I work remote, so like, I don't really see people day to day.
Yeah.
And he always jokes about socializing me.
I think she's talking about something else, Murph.
So like, yeah, like when, like, these things, like, these conversations always help. My board game group kind of fell apart. I don't know if you guys saw in the news, actually, one of the members in it actually got arrested for stealing Pokemon cards from a convention in Pasadena.
What the fuck?
It's on the news. You guys can go see it if you want to check it out. But it's just, I mean, partly why the group fell apart was because of, people were not necessarily, like, the group kind of just fell apart dynamic wise. And, well, that kind of probably explains part of it, at the very least. Lack of trust there. So yeah, I mean, outside of trivia, like, this is like the only time I really talk to people, like, during the week and stuff, outside my wife. So but yeah,
this is
just also
usually the social event of my week as well.
We need this podcast more than this podcast needs us. Like, I'll speak for myself. Like, I need this podcast 100%, or else I'm gonna start degenerating into toddler talk, and develop eroticism like my son has. It's gonna be a little crazy. So, no, I'm really grateful for this podcast, boys, and especially for you two. That's my gratitude. Because the Dodgers beating the White Sox or whatever, who gives a shit? My rant, real quick. Yeah, you know what my rant is. DeAndre fucking Ayton, that's our solution? You think that's going to solve up any problem that we have? The fucking Rockets have made like colossal moves. They took away DFS. Like, oh good, we have less shooting and now we're going to get fucking DeAndre Ayton. That's our solve? Like, DeAndre Ayton can't shoot. What the fuck? Yo, like, when is, like, bro, we just got a new owner. Like, Jeannie, Mark, like, Rob, guys, like, how many centers need to come off the fucking market before you guys make a move? Like, what? Oh, we're 1 center away. No, we're 2 centers away. And now we're a 3-and-D wing away. You know, like, what the fuck? All right, this Lakers offseason has been the offseason from hell, dude. It's like watching just a slow death. It's so bad. You know, like, and then the fucking Lakers subreddit talking themselves into this shit. Like, oh, Ayton and Luke are friends. They have the same agent. So, like, this has been in the making for a long time. Really? Because I've been holding off on a shit for a long time. Doesn't make it smell good. You know, like, what the fuck? Like, I'm sorry. It is painful. When I have to talk to Merv and say, like, oh, the Rockets, the Nuggets, the Thunder, like, the Wolves, I guess to some degree, are really separating themselves from the pack. You know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about us. All right, like, we were supposed to be in there. What the fuck? You know, like, so that's my rant. Sorry, the amount of vitriol I put into that was it was natural. It came to me naturally because just every time I open up, it's like, oh, Shams tweeted, oh, Clay Capella not coming here.
That's why you're not more stoked
okay,
about dominating.
At the same time, when I saw the news reports that Clint Capella went somewhere else and Brook Lopez went somewhere else, I was like, all right, that's like, is that such a bad thing for us that we don't have to give significant minutes to 2025 Clint Capella? I don't think so. Like, I think, yeah, like having to settle for DeAndre Ayton is not ideal, but that's sort of the trade that we did. We gave up our big man for this guy, Luka Doncic, who's great, but technically does things that we already have. So now we have an abundance of shot creation and ball handling, but no
nobody to dunk it. You know, like
to dunk it. And
nobody
you know
grab
what
fucking boards.
DeAndre Ayton can do is dunk. He look, we went on a winning streak towards the end of the year with Jackson Hayes as our starting center, and DeAndre Ayton next to Jackson Hayes looks like Wilt Chamberlain. Like,
damn,
so,
anything smells better than shit. Okay, like, come on.
That's the situation we put ourselves in with this trade, and like, of the options that have been floated out there to guys that we can sign, DeAndre Ayton is like, I prefer having DeAndre Ayton than Clint Capella or old man Brook Lopez.
But it's kind of like some woo-woo upside stuff. You know what I mean? Like, because this could go really poorly, and I think we both know.
Of course. Yeah, absolutely. But, you know, maybe.
I don't know what we think we're fucking doing, but Mark, like, if you're buying the team and you're gonna announce it, you better make a fucking splash, bro, because this is your first shot. I know it's not your first real offseason, but like,
when we somehow manage to trade Austin Reeves for like Bam Adebayo or something ridiculous.
Jesus Christ. Hey man, don't get me excited like that, dude. I'm on camera. Like, oh my God. Yeah, no. Anything that gets us Bam would be fucking amazing. Unfortunately, the Heat have already filled their white ball handler quota, so
they could always have more.
I keep telling them that, and they keep not listening. Yeah, that's my rant. The fucking Lakers better have a real offseason up their sleeve because this is some bullshit. Okay, like DeAndre Ayton, get the fuck out of here, dude. Is that a joke? Like, shit. Yeah, no. Compared to Jackson, he's fucking, he's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, like you said.
Exactly. Like we need a guy there, and DeAndre Ayton is certainly a guy, and
LeBron's gonna kick his ass. Holy shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh. All right, Dan, what do you got? Matchup.
Yeah, matchups. I have a couple ones. The pitching matchups were kind of thin this week. The best one I could come up with is Brian Wu against Seth Lugo. So pretty not great. Astros Dodgers should be fun. As usual, there's, especially at Dodger Stadium, there's still some residual energy there from the scandals and past World Series and stuff. That Dodgers Astros on 4th of July could be fun.
Christian Walker, first return to Dodger Stadium.
Oh, that's the one thing I didn't need a reminder of.
There you go.
Yeah.
Fireworks guaranteed. Speaking of 4th of July, though, I am looking forward to the hot dog eating contest. That is a classic, and I wouldn't miss it. And also, I put up my paleo flag. The Siena Paleo is tomorrow. All the neighborhoods of Siena in Tuscany in Italy sponsor a horse, and they race in the town square, and it's like a big medieval festival that they've been doing every year for like centuries, and that's tomorrow. So go Team Onda, Team Wave. Yeah, that'll be a fun one.
Is it like a jousting competition, or what is it?
It's a horse race, but it's like very physical. Like yeah, it's like horse race in close quarters. It's cool.
Like Ben-Hur type shit, like
pretty much.
Wasn't that chariots?
Hell yeah, let's go.
Yeah. Should I go into
grateful?
Yeah.
Do the triple.
I was grateful to see Man City lose in the Club World Cup yesterday. That was quite fun, even though it happened against the Saudi Arabian team. So it was a sports washing
You're
enterprise
the only
versus
person
sports
who's
washing.
grateful for that. What the fuck is wrong with you?
I enjoy seeing Man City lose.
The one time everybody unites to be like, yeah, go Man City, come on.
Look, yes, it was a Saudi Arabian team that beat them, which means that, yeah, one sports washing enterprise beat another. But at least the Saudi Arabian team was headed by multiple Brazilian players. And that's enough for me.
Jesus Christ.
And as usual, my rant is usually my thinnest portion. And you sort of stole the thunder for the one thing that I really had to rant about, which was the Lakers. But, I think I covered most of my points when I just jumped onto yours. But I will rant about Dave Parker passed away and didn't get to experience walking on the Hall of Fame, actually getting inducted. But it was nice to know that he got to know he got in before he passed, and we got to celebrate his life a couple times. I put up my Dave Parker shirt here in the background today as well. Multiple props today. So yeah, RIP Dave Parker at 74 years old. I'm happy I took the time to do a tribute to him earlier in this podcast's illustrious run.
Dude, I think since Dave Parker's death, the Pirates have not lost a game. And
Pirates have been like on fire,
annihilating teams. Like they just swept the Mets by a combined oh my
Cobra
god,
lives
30-4. Jesus Christ. Oh my god. Yeah, Dave Parker lives through the Pirates apparently, because good god, that is an ass whooping.
Speaking of outfield arms, that's
oh yeah,
some of the
homie had a hose.
Yeah.
Yes. Murph.
Matchup. I would say most up Gold Cup semifinals, USA, Guatemala. US, it's a backup squad, but we
backup squad USA soccer, Collin.
But we should still beat Guatemala, and then hopefully we get to play Mexico again, and for a classic Gold Cup final, US Mexico. Mexico's on the other side playing Honduras. Also, 4th of July, I think we can celebrate it this Friday, hopefully with some fireworks. I am looking forward to the New York Subway Series. The starting pitchers in that: Marcus Stroman, 8.2 ERA, and Blackburn, 7.7 ERA. There are gonna be fireworks in New York. Let me tell you that. So yeah, I think that should be a lot of fun. I'm grateful for the US's resiliency in their win in the Gold Cup. They gave up a penalty, they missed a penalty, they still got a dub and moved into the semis. Good to see, especially not having Pulisic and some of the other main guys in there. This is a team, like, the US is deep enough. We should still be making the finals even without our top guys in this. Like, it really should just be coming down to beating teams like Mexico. Also, I'm grateful for Canada. They lost to Guatemala. Guatemala is ranked like 95th in the world. Canada acting like you're going to be a serious team. Yeah, you have the Bayern guy. Ooh, yeah, Guatemala. Oh, hilarious. Good job. My rant, honestly, the whole thing was gonna be all about the Diamondbacks fan. Which we kind of lost our whole thing on.
we dedicate a whole segment to this motherfucker. Like,
yeah, I was not actually anticipating that. So I was all prepped to go bag on him. But I don't really have anything else that I was really going to rant about. I mean, in general, this team is driving me absolutely insane. With the bullpen leading like most blown saves. And I think we have still have the most save opportunities in baseball. And yet we are 500. Everyone else is in the top 5. That's has the most saves. Because normally if you have a lot of saves, you win games. But we're finding out another way around this. No.
Funnest team in baseball. It's not even close.
So yeah, it's just maddening. Zach Gallen, I'm really starting to believe he's never going to get around. Honestly, it's tough to even rant. I'm just kind of sad for him. The dude's cost himself, probably $170 million this offseason minimum. If he had just pitched like the way he had been, I just can't see anyone offering him much more. Like we might give him the qualifying offer, maybe. I just can't imagine teams really, jonesing to give it. He's got the second worst ERA in baseball. Like Patrick Corbin legit would be better. I think I made this joke with that our 2017 rotation in general would be better than our current one. And that includes
right now.
Yeah, now. Taijuan Walker, Patrick Corbin, Robbie Ray. I would kill for that. I'm sure old man Greinke could throw 40-mile-an-hour ephyses and still be somewhat effective. Yeah, it's just so sad. Ryan Nelson looks good though.
Out to Logan Webb, which is kind of crazy to think about.
Yeah. No, he
and Erod's been kind of coming back a little bit.
Erod's last couple starts have been good.
Yeah.
So there's maybe, but that's what this team does. There's a little bit of light. And then,
they build you up before they crash planes inside you.
Even with that, it hasn't been great. Gallen hasn't been great, and Merrill's been up and down. So it is what it is.
So 2 good pitchers, 2 bad pitchers, 1 up and down pitcher. That's sort of balanced.
Is a pitcher in hand worth the same as a pitcher in the bush? 2 pitchers in the bush. Is 2 pitchers in hand worth as much as a rotation in the bush?
Is 8 pitchers getting Tommy John at the same time good? I don't know. I'm just asking for a friend.
We'll find out the success rate on the Diamondbacks Tommy John. We should have a D-backs Tommy John tracker. That is insane. 8 pitchers that you actually need getting Tommy John. And 7, and then Jordan Montgomery. But this is wow, it's a rough season, but hey, at least it's fun. Okay. And one little missed point.
This isn't a U8 soccer game.
No, it's better than that. Fun. It's grown men playing baseball and just being, like you said, aggressively mid, finding ways to win one, lose one. I hope they finish with 81 wins.
Yeah, it's fun for us.
It's fun for everybody else. This is some good ass shit, man. This is damn. This is like crack. It's hitting like crack, dude. It's a lot of fun. Quick missed point. Dan talked about the Nathan's famous hot dog eating contest on the 4th of July, which will feature the return of Joey Chestnut. I just wanted to make that clear. The greatest of all time is coming back.
Massive favorite.
Huge betting favorite. But actually, the GOAT. So he's like the fucking Michael Jordan of fucking eating hot dogs. Hot dogs specifically. I think there are lots of other GOATs for other categories.
Yeah.
Anywho, that'll do it for us. It's Taco Tuesday. I gotta get started on these tacos. I'm, Lee, joined by Colin Murphy, Dan Grievitz. I need to get them in the shot. It's been another episode of Everyone Hates Us. Hopefully you'll join us next week, same time. And we'll find out who's late next week.
It's probably going to be me.
Yeah. Go D-backs.
Go Snakes.